What is up, everybody? Welcome to this video. My name is Justin. Today we're going to talk all about upper body training for Ultimate Frisbee. Now, I get a ton of questions about how to train your upper body for Ultimate. I want this video to serve as a little guide on some things that you can think about when getting into your training. Let's start off with why. What are the reasons you would want to train your upper body for Frisbee? The first thing is, I think it's just really good to get some general shoulder strength and stability. We use our shoulder a ton, specifically when we're throwing, but also when we're laying out. There's just a ton of actions that our shoulder has to do. So it's probably really important to be able to get some good stability and strength through the shoulder blade, the stabilizers, the rotator cuff, all those muscles that we want to make sure that we can keep healthy so that we can keep playing Ultimate. Now, the biggest thing that I want to address is upper body training directly impacting your throwing. If I get stronger in my upper body, is that going to make me throw farther? The quick answer is probably no. Remember that throwing is a skill. It's so technique focused. The same way that shooting a basketball is a skill. Hitting a baseball when someone's throwing it at you at 100 miles per hour. All these things are skills, and throwing a Frisbee is one of those. So that's not to say that getting stronger isn't going to help, but it's not directly proportional. If I get your bench press from 100 pounds to 200 pounds, that's not automatically going to add 10, 20 yards to your throw. So getting generally stronger is going to get you the underlying general foundation that you can then build off of. But if you aren't practicing your skills, if you aren't practicing your technique of throwing, then it's not going to actually transfer over. Now, one aspect of being stronger that could potentially carry over is your grip strength. If we're doing a lot of upper body training, specifically a lot of pulling exercises, well, then we're having to grip and hold things quite a bit. So your grip strength could indirectly get stronger. And if you have a better grip on the disc, a lot of times we know that can give us some better snap and that can give us better distance. Laying out in Ultimate is a really big thing, and there's a lot of force that goes into our body when we hit the ground pretty hard. So it's probably pretty good to have some general stability and strength, right? This isn't, again, to say that getting stronger is going to make you better at laying out, but if you're hitting the ground a ton, there's a ton of shock, a ton of force that's going into the shoulders. So getting a little bit stronger, having better stability through the shoulder could potentially just make you a little bit more resilient. Now, if you're playing a sport where getting stronger is beneficial, but it's not directly part of the sport, then it's probably to be able to handle contact better. So basketball players, football players are great examples of this, where we want to get stronger in the upper body so then we can handle playing defense, hitting each other, tackling, all those sort of things. And although Frisbee is a non-contact sport, there is still quite a bit of contact, especially at the higher levels. You're going to see a lot more physicality, and getting stronger in your upper body could help out with being able to handle that contact a little bit more. And finally, last but definitely not least on the list of reasons you would want to train your upper body is to be able to help support change of direction and deceleration. If you watch athletes change direction, they're able to get their entire upper body and their torso to stiffen up at the right time, so they're not going flailing everywhere. They're able to stiffen up, absorb a lot of those really fast deceleration forces, and then get back out of their cut. The best athletes are able to stiffen up when they need to, but then be really relaxed when they need to, like when they're winding up for a throw. And if we're doing upper body training, that's something that could help with being able to stiffen up and control those muscles a lot more. Now, again, you have to be actually practicing those cuts, those decelerations. All that upper body training isn't going to automatically make you a better cutter, but that is something that could indirectly help. Moving on now, if we're talking about coordination, something I really like for upper body training are crawls. We're seeing this a lot in the sports performance field. A lot of college teams, pro teams across all sports are bear crawls, whether forward, backwards, side to side. You can do things like Spider-Man crawls. There's just a bunch of different crawls that you can do. These are things that you can do as part of a workout, or you can do them as part of a warm-up, whether you're at the gym or at the field. These are great because you're getting the upper body working. You're getting that shoulder stability by having to actually move your body, but you're getting it working with the core, with your hip muscles, your leg muscles. Everything is working together, and you're getting that coordination piece. So you're not just working everything in isolation, you're getting it all to work together. And it's a very low intensity exercise. Although it can feel hard in the moment, it's not something that's going to leave you 10 out of 10 sore the next day. So you can do it pretty frequently. Going along with that now, I think most Ultimate players can just master their own body weight. I think a lot of us are way too quick to jump to, oh, I need to be able to max out my bench press. When if you can just do some really good push-ups, right? Just some regular push-ups, or if you got parallettes, that's even better, right? Some pull-ups Pull-ups are such a great exercise. Even at the highest level, you're continuing to see people do pull-ups and rows, whether that's with a barbell or a TRX. You can just master your body weight with those things. I think you're getting the most bang for your buck. That's a very low-hanging fruit that a lot of players can take advantage of. Me, myself, I don't really train my upper body with weight all that much. I'm doing a lot of body weight exercises, not because I don't think weights are good or anything like that, but because if I'm just trying to get in and out of the gym really quickly, just get a nice efficient workout, then I think I can just add in a couple body weight things for my upper body, and that really takes care of everything that I need for ultimate. Now, if you did want to add weight to your upper body exercises, or you just wanted to advance how you're training your upper body, good system I like is this quadrant system. We can imagine on one side, there's push and pull, and on the other side, there's going to be vertical and horizontal. And because this is a quadrant, this leaves us with 4 possible combinations. Starting off with the first one, if we do a vertical push, this is going to be anything where we're pressing overhead. So like a dumbbell overhead press or a shoulder press. This is a great way to develop those shoulders and just get ourselves pushing vertically. Now, if we want to do a push but horizontal, this is going to be our bench press. So like a dumbbell bench press, barbell bench press, even a push-up, anything where we are pushing horizontally. If we go back to that quadrant now, when we do a vertical pull, well, this is our pull-up that we were talking about earlier. This can also be a lat pull down, anything where we are pulling in the vertical plane. And finally, if we wanted to do a horizontal pull, I think oftentimes there's the most options for this. These are any of our rows. So body weight, like we were showing earlier, but we can do a barbell row, a dumbbell single arm row, any of those options where we are pulling horizontally. And if we cover these 4 options here, push, pull, and vertical and horizontal, then we cover pretty much all the primary ways that our upper body can move and can be trained. Now, that's not to say that this is going to cover absolutely everything. Obviously, there are a ton of ways our shoulder can move, or we can move this thing in pretty much 360 degrees. But if you're hitting these 4 main blocks, let's say once a week or however often it is, you're just making sure that you're taking care of these 4 blocks, then I think you're covering your bases pretty well here. I think sometimes areas get neglected with upper body training. If you're hitting these 4, you'll cover things pretty well. Finally, to wrap it up now, I generally like keeping things single arm. So if we're doing like a dumbbell bench press, I like it to be a single arm dumbbell bench press. I like keeping things dumbbell because it makes us have to just use our shoulder stability just a little bit more. That's not to say that the bench press with a barbell is bad or anything like that, but the dumbbells just cause a little bit more instability. So we have to be stable and the shoulder can move a little bit more freely. So if you're training for ultimate Frisbee, where we're trying to get that general strength and coordination and stability, then the dumbbell can be a great option. And I like keeping a single arm. You get core involved a little bit as well. If I'm coming down with one arm in a single arm dumbbell bench press, then my body's trying to rotate all over the place. So my core is getting involved to stabilize me a little bit more. So it's just a great way that we can sneak in a little bit more core trainings. Also, very generally speaking, I like keeping it about 5 to 12 reps at a time. We're not looking to completely max out here. Now, if you're trying to max out, right, if your goal is to max out and get as strong as possible in your upper body, right, that's not going to kill you or anything like that. By all means, do what you want to do. But again, if you're training for ultimate Frisbee, then I generally recommend about 5 to 12 reps. That way we can emphasize the control, the stability, the coordination just a little bit more, right? We're looking for quality of movement here versus just pushing the numbers on the bar. There you have it. There's a very general guide for upper body training for ultimate Frisbee. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Also, if you're somebody that's looking to take your ultimate Frisbee game to the next level and you're looking for some one-on-one coaching, feel free to hit the link down below to apply for one-on-one coaching with myself. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.